I'm Benjamin. I'm a senior undergraduate studying music education with an emphasis in jazz studies. And I'm originally from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and started going to UNC back in 2017. My faith when I got here was very much my parents. I grew up in the church, got to know Jesus in a semi-personal way, but still kind of felt far off and unsure of how to approach the scriptures and how to approach the gospel. When I moved to college, just kind of started getting used to things, started looking around for clubs and organizations, and as I watched a couple of my friends kind of fall away from their faith and fall away from the church, I recognized that this was something really important that I needed to pursue. And so I made it a priority the first few weeks was to find a church and to find some sort of campus ministry to get involved with. Tried out a couple, ended up with Impact, and just started to get to know the program a little bit better and get to know the ministry that they were doing, and really, really loved just the small, close connections that I was able to make with the people that freshman year who wanted something more personal and more community-oriented, and so that's what I definitely found through Impact. As I started getting more involved with Impact, I was taking to the Bible a lot easier, and it was becoming more of an open book that I was able to dive into without having so many questions. And even when I did have those questions, I had the people around me to ask. Eventually, I started a gospel study with Trevor that really opened my eyes to the bigger story and recognizing how Jesus was the sole center of that entire story, and is the sole center of my entire story, and how I play into that and how he plays into my own life. And so we finished the gospel study, and I was just super hungry for more, and we continued to do studies. It was just fascinating me coming into college and recognizing I don't know that I know as much as I thought I did about the Bible, and then coming out sophomore, junior year, and feeling a lot more comfortable in my faith and ready to make it my own, and ready to profess that this was my own, this was my relationship with Jesus, and this was something that I was going to pursue for the rest of my life. I was out a lot more trying to build relationships with people in the community around me, and many of them were unbelievers, and inviting them into these small studies similar to the one that I had done with Trevor my freshman year. I got to work with a friend. He had grown up in the church similar to me, but had a lot of similar questions that I did my freshman year. I kind of proposed the study to him, and said if this was something you wanted to do to learn a bit more about what you believe, and let's talk about that, let's kind of flesh that out. And at the end of that study, he declared his faith as his own, and actually got baptized. And so that was a really, really awesome and very, very encouraging experience of seeing the word just completely influence and turn somebody's life around. And another even cooler experience is actually getting to lead a study with a former professor of mine as he continued to discover, had grown up in the church, walked away from the faith at an early age, and never really looked back. And so I kind of started prodding gently these questions, of what is it exactly that you're looking for, and what questions do you have necessarily about the faith? And we've just been getting a meal together once or twice a week, and just talking these things out. And so it's just been such a ultimate inverse of what I ever thought was possible, of teacher and student, and then kind of just being colleagues and being friends, talking about the gospel together. I think I'm just a lot more open to just talking about it. Being able to digest the word and whatever it is that the Spirit is prompting on us is a beautiful thing when you can do it in community. And so I think just going out to the real world as I do, and continuing in education, and continuing in ministry, this has had a huge, just profound impact on my life of showing me the direction that God is calling me and pushing me in, and even if it's not full time, knowing that ministry is always something that I will be doing on the daily.